Newly surfaced footage sheds light on the aftermath of the latest incident involving Caitlin Clark, and it reveals a side of the WNBA the league may prefer to keep under wraps. During the Indiana Fever's intense clash with the Connecticut Sun, Sophie Cunningham's unwavering defense of Clark stood out, showcasing a level of loyalty and protection that went far beyond ordinary teammate dynamics.
The greatest thing I saw tonight was Sophie Cunningham. Thank you. Sophie Cunningham was about to give she's about to give her the Stone Cold Stunner, bro. I'm gonna put it right here, bro. She was gripping JC's shoulder and straight bumped her. She was straight grabbing her hair and was talking shit while doing it. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you become a teammate. That's a road dog. That's a real teammate, bro. She see what made me mad the play before. Howard, none of them jokers didn't stick up for Caitlin Clark, but that's how you stick up for Caitlin Clark. That's how you fight for your teammates.
Sophie Cunningham, quickly earning a reputation as the Indiana Fever's enforcer, wasn't merely backing up a teammate during Tuesday night's clash with the Connecticut Sun. She had to be physically held back by coaches as she rushed to defend the league's biggest star, Caitlin Clark from J.C. Sheldon, a longtime rival whose attempts to rattle Clark date back to their college battles.
Really, people out here defending Marina Mabrey for Madden hit sticking Caitlin Clark to the floor, saying that she's just protecting her teammate. For one, it involved Caitlin Clark and J.C. Sheldon. They had their little spiel before that, and then J.C. Sheldon scratches Clark in the face, then invades her space after that. Clark pushes her away because of that, and then Marina Mabrey comes get involved and Madden hit sticks her to the floor. Man, and y'all just like she was protecting her teammate. But then Sophie Cunningham is getting called vile and disgusting for dropping JC Sheldon to the floor and dragging her by the hair. So Sophie Cunningham can't stick up for her teammate, or else it's vile and disgusting. But Marina Mabrey could get involved in something that didn't involve her, and it's just she was protecting her teammate. The Caitlin Clark hate is so...
Here's the truth the lead office pokes you overlook. Caitlin Clark wasn't just fouled during Tuesday's game. She was deliberately targeted. From eye pokes to hard shoves and takedowns that felt more like wrestling moves than basketball plays, Clark endured a level of physicality that crossed the line. And while the referees stood by like silent spectators, this time something changed. Sophie Cunningham had seen enough and wasn't about to let it slide.
Did exactly what the fuck needed to be done last night. And I love that for her. Because what y'all not gonna do, for one, Connecticut had no chance in winning that game, but what y'all not gonna do is decide to play dirty, to play violent, because y'all getting smacked by the Indiana Fever. Y'all had no chance, they had no chance of winning that game anyway. So all they resorted to was just playing fucking dirty. And shit, Sophie Cunningham said, well, shit, that's why they brought me over here. So I'm about to do what they...
The damning footage captures the exact moment it all escalated. J.C. Sheldon, yes, the same Connecticut Sun guard who's had a simmering rivalry with Caitlin Clark since their college days, was seen deliberately poking Clark in the eye during the third quarter. As Clark winced and instinctively pushed Sheldon away, Marina Mabrey stormed in like a bull on the charge, delivering a hard shove that sent Clark crashing to the floor. The crowd inside Cambridge Fieldhouse erupted in boos. And then it happened. Sophie Cunningham, eyes blazing with fury, leaped off the bench, only to be restrained by assistant coaches who seemed to know exactly what she was about to do.
Play actually took place. Sophie Cunningham was ready to jump off the bench right then and there. Sophie was ready to jump off the bench right then and there. Look at this. Boom, Marina Mabrey gets it. And then what do you see right here? You see the picture. You see the picture on the left-hand side over there. Yeah, Austin Kelly holding Sophie Cunningham back. Hey, Sophie, we're I know you want to get after it. I know you're about that action, but you got to stay right here on the sideline. Seriously, no one can say Caitlin Clark isn't targeted. Girl just got poked to the eye, thrown to the ground, and was still given a technical foul. Marina Mabrey was not ejected. These officials are absolutely...
But here's where things really take a turn. Multiple eyewitnesses, including fans in the stands, reported that Cunningham was visibly seething on the sidelines, repeatedly attempting to break free from the coaches holding her back. Footage shows her mouthing words that need no expert to interpret. "That's my teammate. That's enough." The coaching staff clearly sensed what was coming, a surge of protective fury simmering just below the surface. In the final minute of the game, that fury found its outlet as Cunningham seized her moment of retribution.
Yo, Sophia, my apologies. You should have had the second jersey WNBA I bought. I did not know that you were so proficient in holding the back of a girl's head while talking shit to her. She defended Caitlin Clark from that flagrant foul, which they didn't call flagrant for some reason last night. And she had her titled up. And then the rest of the Don Imus crew came up and tried to, separate it and whatever. But let me just tell y'all this. Sophie Cunningham, thank you for defending Caitlin Clark. Somebody in the WNBA has to protect the brand, and it's not going to be the EBT members. So thank you for protecting the greatest female basketball player of all.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to hit subscribe. The timing of this incident is striking and incredibly telling for the WNBA. Honestly, the league has earned every ounce of the backlash it's receiving. Let's look at the facts, because while WNBA officials may spin stories, the numbers don't lie. Sophie Cunningham's jersey completely sold out on the official league site after she publicly stood up for Caitlin Clark. That's no accident. It's a clear message from Indiana fans. They see and support the one player courageous enough to call out the league's double standards toward its biggest star.
In case you guys don't know yet, Sophie Cunningham's jersey, oh yeah, Fever fans spend that bread, folks. Sophie Cunningham's jersey, out of stock. Look at that, no size in stock. A small, a medium, a large, an extra large, a double XL. You're gonna have to get one custom made. Sophie Cunningham stands up for Caitlin Clark, and overnight, her jerseys are selling like...
Stephen A. Smith and Monica McNutt took to the airwaves Wednesday morning with what might be one of the most tone-deaf takes in sports media history. Instead of addressing the clear pattern of targeted aggression against the league's biggest star, they suggested that Caitlin Clark somehow deserved the treatment because she talks. Smith even compared her to Larry Bird, saying, "She's also somebody like Larry Bird, was shooting the lights out and stuff like that, and we're just talking smack." In other words, it's Clark's fault she's being physically targeted on national television. The level of victim blaming here is so transparent, it's almost laughable, if it weren't so disturbing.
You see a little shove here and there. You see her throwing a little elbow here and there. You see her talking smack. Caitlin Clark does this. So, on top of the fact that she can play, because the girl's a shooter, and she's an assist maven as well, leading the league in assists and stuff like that. She's special, 4th in league MVP honors last year, Rookie of the Year. But she's also somebody, Doggy, you will appreciate this, kind of like Larry Bird was. When Larry Bird shooting the lights out and stuff like that, but Larry Bird...
Now let's talk about the real issue, the officiating and the league's weak response. Coach Stephanie White called it out early, saying, "We knew this was going to happen. They got to get control of it. They got to be better." Her frustration was clear. Officials have let the physical targeting of players, especially Caitlin Clark, go unchecked all season. With under a minute left and the Fever up by 17, Sophie Cunningham stepped in. Sheldon, the same player who poked Clark in the eye earlier, was racing down the court. Cunningham, drawing on her childhood taekwondo training, she earned a black belt at 6, wrapped her up in what martial arts experts call a textbook tie clinch, and brought her down. A message was sent.
The W, especially if Sophie Cunningham is going to continue to fight people for messing with Caitlin Clark, because it feels like Caitlin Clark is going to get treated in a certain way in this league for a long time. She's not a rookie anymore. Okay? She's already proved herself. She's won. And then there were some, ladies last night that were trying to go a little physical. Mm-hmm. And in last year, I think something we noticed, and I think a lot of people noticed, is when Caitlin would get bullied, nobody would do nothing.
That's right.
Nobody would do nothing. It was like, hey, they didn't know, like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe people are doing this to Caitlin Clark. Teammates weren't jumping in there. They bring in Sophie Cunningham. I had no idea. Sophie Cunningham was a black belt at the age of 6.
Yeah. Yep.
Boom!
Wow.
JC Sheldon, that's cute. You want to poke her in the eye, then push her into a boom Mabry thing? Go ahead. I'll take a take foul, and you'll eat the deck a little bit here.
The aftermath was expected. Cunningham got a flagrant 2 and was ejected along with Sheldon and Lindsay Allen. But the message was clear. Mess with Caitlin Clark, and Sophie Cunningham will respond. The crowd gave her a standing ovation, recognizing a new enforcer willing to defend the future of the franchise. What's frustrating is the league's response. Cunningham was fined, while Marina Mabrey, who shoved Clark from behind earlier, got the same penalty. One was a protective move, the other an unprovoked attack. Yet, the WNBA treated them the same. The double standard couldn't be more obvious.
This Sophie Cunningham X account, and just like I stated, guys, she's been pretty vocal all day, sending little subliminals on social media. Well, she made it her business to retweet some of this drama that has been displayed online. Now, if you guys haven't heard, the Marina Marbury situation has been upgraded to a flagrant 2 foul, man, and she should have got suspended. Marina Marbury should have been suspended. And God, this is exactly why the Fever brought in Sophie Cunningham, whether you like it or not, the enforcer. And the WNBA officials were not prepared to handle this moment. Now, he's retweeting this and insinuating, he's insinuating that she's racist. That's How can you say an incident between 2 Caucasian ladies are racist? Make it make sense.